welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. We're jumping into Watch Our Realms and this has just started on Global. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 would do, and we'll do the Hidden Chamber over there. And then the boss fight, stage 5 is on another video separate. But we've kept everything, we've kept our heroes to be epic and we've kept our gear down to sort of a tier 1 level. So if you've just cleared out your gear rates 1, 2 and 3, status 19, this is accessible for you, this is doable. Okay, right, let's jump in. First thing. Our team. This is our team that I'm using. I've got a I've skipped out on the Lords, so you can easily improve on this by putting some Lords into your team. So I've skipped out on that, although there are a couple in there that are worthy of using. Okay, so I've got a couple of archers, a couple of marksmen. You can put in a tank if you wanted to as well. You could probably have a decent tank in there, so take anyone's favourite. You can put that tank in, there one, you can put a Lord one in there, but we don't want to use a Lord, do we? So I mean, there's plenty of options you can have for use of a tank. There is no reason why don't chuck one in. We won't be using one, but I mean, there's plenty of fighters that can be used to do hits. So first place, I put up my Idril over there, that's fine. I'm going to put my tank down here, or at least my fighter that can tank some stuff up for me. I'm going to use Gluttony, absolutely fantastic. If you've got legendaries, use them. If you've got better gear than tier 1, use that. Obviously, don't try and make this hard for yourself. There's no point in that. These first ones that come out, not really that much of an issue to be used anywhere, to be honest. There we go, we can easily go through them without too many issues whatsoever. Maul's going up there, and I will try and get myself out of the way a little bit. There we go, move myself up here, out of the way, that's better. You can see clearly stuff. There we are, and we're smashing through this stuff. We don't have to use ultimates either. This first stage all relatively nice and easy. In fact, the first four stages are all good for you to use. We can now put a ranged fighter to sort of reach over us there if we want. That's nice. That'll help us out, because the next lot that come through, those first 3 are quite easy to get. The next lot they hit a bit harder, so they're a bit more tricky for you to get down with a single fighter. Certainly sort of epic and tier 1 gear level. We can chuck on a healer, chuck a healer on here, that's always nice. And then it's just waiting on other stuff. So you've got some other platforms that you can use. If you want to put some other things down, you can use them as well. You shouldn't need to. The platform above Gluttony is only going to be used if you let people come from this side across. But Maul's there, and he takes care of them. He's sort of got an AoE going on. It's all sorts of good. But you can put sort of another tank and a fighter, ranged fighter down there. They'll be within healing range. We can help out here. We can put down our greed, and he's going to a nice range up here to attack stuff. And as long as we don't let anyone come down here, we don't need to worry about that other side. But if you want to, go for it. There's no reason you can't top up the other side with, you know, an extra sort of fighter that can heal themselves. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, put a fighter on the other side that can heal themselves, and then if you really want, you can put a fighter that can reach over the top of them as well, should you be getting issues of things coming over. There are better fighters you can use. Obviously there's the baby Pope fighter. She's absolutely fantastic. Going through all this content, if you pulled her over the ancients, absolutely fantastic. If you didn't get an ancient lord but you got her, you really well. You're probably better off having some of the ancient lords, but she is a really good hero. You'll have no issues fully booking her up and skilling her up at all. She's absolutely fantastic. Fully awaken her, don't worry about it. She's absolutely great. Okay, there we go. That is the first fight done and dusted. Nice and easy, no issues whatsoever. No ultimates used, no legendaries used, no gear above tier 1 that was used. It was all right. Onwards and upwards. Stage 2 then. Let's jump into the fight. What have we got here? Again, we haven't got any lords. Again, we're using epics and below. You don't have to gear everyone up. So this is our healer at the moment. We've just chucked some gear on her and she's got an artifact, and we haven't done all her attributes. Apparently we can start her up, she's 50, so that sort of thing. It's not massively tricky at the moment for you. Again, no lords on the go. What you want from your team is you want a tanky fighter ×2 or a defender. Then you want 2 fighters that can reach over your tank or tanky fighter. And then you want a platform based unit ×2 do some platforming based DPS, and then you want a pair of healers. That's sort of it really, and then we set up our teams accordingly. So if we just jump into the fight, I put my weaker team at the bottom because they have less hardship from the mobs. So I'm going to do a gluttony down here because gluttony or wrath. Gluttony for me is weaker. I'm putting a DPS, range DPS going up. He's going to start taking out some of this stuff, and then in a minute when we've got our healer online, there we go, we chuck our healer down and we're good there. You could, if you wanted to, place another DPS reaching over your tank or tanky fighter there if you need to, so that's a definite possibility for you, but we don't need to, so it's not an issue for us. But if you want to, then absolutely fill your boots and then sort of chuck in your spare sort of ranged. All is good for you. Now we're doing very much the same, but on this side up here. Now this side up here is harder. Now I think you could probably get away with a decent fighter down here if you wanted to. We're going to put him up here and we're just going to sort of heal through it and that sort of thing. But bear in mind, if you're not killing them off here, they're going to come through a bit more tanky. The reason I'm not overly concerned about killing them off here is because I can't kill them off on this side. And maybe if I got a marksman going that way, I could probably kill the bulk of them off, but Maul here takes a lot of damage out of them even before they reach here, so it's not too much of a big issue for me. And then behind my Wrath I do put another fighter to reach over. It's just a bit easier. Then we're in for a healer, and there we go. That's it done now. We're just waiting for the end of the fight. We don't we just click this on 2 times speed. We've got another deployment, so we can put someone else down if you want. Remember, you've got these sort of spaces available for your fighters, and then if you want to stick another mage down, there are no more spaces. So you can only have 4 platform-based units max, but that's about it. And then, of course, Idril, now you'd want to fire off an ultimate to start getting this sort of larger mob down, but he's going to come over, he'll attack where Maul is, and then he'll attack, I think, Wrath. There we go, because they're the first ones he comes into in his path. But the damage isn't much, and we can overheal straight through that. It's not an issue. And there we go. That's realistically the fight. All good. I mean, BP value here is, I think, 500 they ask for. We're probably under that. Again, we're not using ultimates, we're using epics and below. It's all sort of tier 1 stuff and those, so easily doable. If you're a fresh account, you got some nice rewards, smash this out, all is good for you realistic. I think these beginning levels are aimed really well. You know, a nice start, being able to sort of farm up some extra gear and that sort of thing. There we go. And that's that one done. All nice and easy. Again, we'll get no issues at the moment. And bear in mind, it does start to ramp up once you get above sort of stage 10. Oh, there you go, smashing through this, flying through it. Let's fight on to number 3. What do we want? We want 2 tanky fighters. So we've got our Gluttony, we've got our Wrath. There are 2 sort of tanky fighters. Need some healers. So we've got a don't put you there. We were avoiding that. So we've got Vortex. Now healer wise, I don't want to strip down anymore, but this range that they've got, this wideness here, that comes in very handy on this stage. So if you've got like a Vortex and a Hollow, use a Hollow as well. I don't really need another healer. And then after that, I want a pair of ranged DPS. And after that, it's pretty much I'd take the 2 healers, and then after that it's platform based stuff. So whatever you've got ready to go that you think is going to work coming down from a platform. So anyone, I mean, Epic Lords are good. Yeah, there's almost anyone you can use there to put down on the platform, and coming down just to help out with that DPS a bit. That's realistically what you need. So you've got a spare sort of 3 slots there you can use without too many issues. I'll sort of show you what we're on about here. So we've got our Gluttony down, we've got our Greed down, and then we're just waiting up for enough space to get our healer down. And that's why it's good to have these sort of tank units as well, sort of tanky fighters. If you're going defenders, then you may have to do a different style of placement. Okay, there you go. There's what I mean by their field of healing. It's nice. We're only missing that top square over there. So if you've got another one to put down over here, you would heal on these two squares as well, which come out quite handy for us. So we're just battling these down. It's not a great issue for us. Again, we're using Idril. She's absolutely fantastic. We're going to place her down on that side, and we're going to place Maul down when he's ready on the other side. Okay, keeping this nice and easy. There is no issues for us doing any of this. Remember, this comes out on global today, or by the time this video drops, there should only be about 30 minutes left before global restarts and this arrives. But there's no issues if you qualify to do it with doing the first 5 easily, and then the first 10 you should be able to do as well. So there we go. We've got our DPS on both sides. We're taking these out before they go for their swim and sort of buff themselves up. We're not using our ultimates. There's no need to. And now we're just waiting for some more of our DPS coming through, or our AoE DPS will be quite nice as well. So we're just using a Greed up here. He's absolutely fantastic. And if you add some others, you could use them as well. So both of these on the left and the right platforms, they've got another platform above them, behind them. So if you are struggling with the DPS there, don't feel shy. You can easily put someone else sort of up here shooting down, or this side shooting down. Like I say, you could put your other healer here if you thought you were taking damage on these sides. And then up here, you still got room to put more AoE DPS if you sort of need it, or you could put them facing down. So I've got him facing across, but if I faced him down, he would cover all those tiles, and I could put someone else on the other side. It's sort of very easy, very flexible for you. You shouldn't have an issue whatsoever. Plenty of options to go for. If you really wanted to, if you had someone with enough range, with 1, 2, 3 tile range, yeah, you could easily get someone over here reaching across with a bit of AoE. You'd be absolutely fine. Again, we're not using any ultimates that we have control over. I mean, Greed's just doing his because that's what he does, so is Wrath, that sort of thing. But other than that, there's no requirement to do it. Idrils will come in quite handy. She can take care of those, and also you could fire off Idril just here and use her ultimate. She's got a hole over the map sort of thing. And all good, really. It's stage 3 done and dusted. Nice and easy for you. Not a problem still, and I think we carry on that through very much the first 5 stages. So there we go, stage 3 done. Last 2 mobs going down. There we are. Go on, Gluttony, do a big heal at the end. There we go, stage 3 done. Victory sorted. Okay, so we're jumping into stage 4 now already. Here's our team this time round. You want a pair of tanks, you want a pair of healers, probably better than that, and you want to make sure that your tank has gear on. Mine hasn't. I don't think we put any on her, have we? No, she's got no gear on, so that's not an issue. And then we've got our pair of healers, we've got our tanky fighters again, we want to keep using those, and then we've got some DPS that we probably won't get around to using. I don't think we use Greed, but there we go. So that's pretty much our team makeup. 2 defenders, 2 platform based attackers, 2 healers, and 2 tanky fighters. There we go. So tanky fighter 1 there, and tanky fighter 2 up at the top. There we go. That's them taken care of. They have the artifact on that gives them an extra block and heals while they do hits as well. So there we go. That's them being used. Now the next thing to do is to place down our DPS. I put 1 down on this side, and I'm going to do the same on the other side with my Maul. So Maul and Idril will go on opposite sides of the map, facing inwards to each other. And the reason we place them down like this is quite important. So we're going to have another mob arrive out of the top left, and that mob attacks the last person placed down. So we want to make sure the last person placed down is someone quite tanky for us. So what we are going to do is we're going to place our Vortex down. Vortex is brilliant for this because Vortex is an HP based healer. So he's built up with HP, so he's quite tanky, and then he can heal himself as well, which is another plus. So we'll put Vortex down. Here comes the boss. You can place Vortex down as soon as you've got enough coin. I was just yabbering on. Now, there's Vortex gone down, so the boss will now attack Vortex. The next thing to be aware of is, again, the boss is going to attack the last person placed down. I'm going to place down my weaker of my 2 tanks, because the weaker of the 2 tanks is going to, in the long run, take less hits, okay? So our tank with no gear on goes down here. and she'll start now taking the hits. That mini boss will start attacking her. There we go. Just about take up a hit without any gear on. So put something on her, you'll be doing better than we're doing. Okay, there we go. Now the next thing I've got to do is my next two to place down are a healer. This healer's a bit weaker, they're attack based, and my defender. So I want to make sure I've got 34. At a coin cap of 34, I can then place them down. We'll wait for the boss to do an attack. There he is. Place healer down, and then straight away place my defender down. So my now new tougher defender will take the bigger hits. There we go, and that's going to be going on now because we've placed everyone down. Yeah, deployment 0. All good. So that's everyone placed down, and we just let the fight tick on through. Now if you want to, some of the things you might want to do is you might want to loose off Idril's ultimate to get rid of the boss, or that mini boss creature mob at the top here. Might want to get rid of them. But just down here where we've got Maul, we count up how many we've got here. So I've got 2, I'm down to 3, so I can defend those. If we need to, bang off Maul's ultimate, get rid of all of those. It's not an issue. You don't have to do it without using ultimates. I'm just sort of trying to show that the fights are okay for lower level. Now our mini boss coming across here, still attacking Baron, absolutely fantastic, you go for it. Attack Baron all day long, I don't have an issue with that at all. There we go. And then when the boss reaches the other end, Idril will start attacking her shortly. There we go. And then we start to take the boss down. And that's the fight. If you've got that far to do one boss, then all you're doing is rinse and repeat him for the second half of the fight. The next 20 mobs are much the same. They might come in slightly larger numbers, particularly on this bottom one here next to Baron. They might come in a few more mobs there, but other than that we are all good. So that's pretty much the order to put people down in. 2 tanky fighters go down first, top and bottom. Then we place down our platform DPS. Okay, and then make sure you've got enough coins to place down your tanky healer. Right, here we go. We've got quite a few coming in now, so we're up to 5. We won't be able to tank that. Will we have to use Maul's ultimate is the only thing we have to worry about. There we go, sort of got one off there, didn't we? Can we kill another one? There we go. We've got plenty of room. There we are. That's it, done and dusted. Still no ultimate use that we have control over. And that's the fight. It's nice and simple. Bit of placement consideration going on for you, but other than that, once you're aware that it's the last person, like I say, you could use Idril's ultimate now and just take off this person without any issues whatsoever. Okay, so it's really good champion. If you've got her or you're new to the game, absolutely fantastic. If you've got her, just put a load of skills into her, you won't have any issues. She's used all over the game. It is not going to be a waste of resources. You won't look back in months later thinking I wish I hadn't done that, because that's not going to happen. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so there we go. That's her done. That's stage 4 done. Right, let's jump onto the hidden chamber. That'll be the end for this video, and then we'll do a bit more in-depth guide for the boss fight. Okay, last fight for this video, then we'll go into the boss, and we'll do the boss on a separate stage video. Okay, it'll be a stage 5. I'll do a link to it later on at the end. Now, clear the stage. We're going to 1-star it. Team hero limit is reduced by 3. We'll tick off that. That gives us another star. Reduces cost regeneration by 30%. We'll tick that off. Priests, Thunderers, attack, inflicts stackable vulnerability, magic. Oh yeah, we'll tick that off. It's not an issue. Right, there we go. Recommended BP 550. Fight. Let's jump in. So this is a team we're using here. Just have a quick flick through. Okay, so while we're here, here's Idril's gear. It is good tier 1 gear, let's be honest, but there we go. Skills are all done. She is fully awakened, and then I'm using Idril's Gaze. If you're having a small issue, remember there's a percentage chance on this, so you might want to rerun it and have a bit of RNG going in your favour. Here's Vortex. We've got him down in normal healing set. It'd be HP, speed, and HP. Skill. I mean, the epics, the skills are all done, and so are the awakenings. Okay. Breed, there's his gear, stats over there, and again skills will all be done, and his artifact is his, and it's up to 19. Gluttony, there we go. We do like gluttony. That's his gear. There's the artifact, just so he can heal himself. Really, that's sort of it. And then we've got we use her as well, Estrid. So there she is. There, fine. And then she's got a level 1 artifact on. It's just so you can get a bit of healing. Now, if you're struggling for a bit, then feel free to slot a Lord in. That's going to help you out to boost your team up. I mean, don't use weaker heroes and that sort of thing just because you saw a video on it. I mean, this is just a guide on trying to do it as easy or more attainable for most players. Right, first one down is Idril. For me, Idril's going around here. She's going to take off that boss there, or that mob coming around there. Now we've got our mob coming out again, who's going to hit our last person placed down. So what do we want to do? We'll place a healer down. There we go. We've got a nice HP based healer. Should have done it earlier than me. And Idril's going to take out this mob. And that's it. Just sit back and chill out now. Enjoy your cup of tea, and that's it. Nothing more to do for the fight for a little while. What we're waiting on is we're waiting on Idril's ultimate. So when her ultimate comes up, we can trigger that off. Put it on auto. There we go. So that's her ultimate being triggered off. And now she takes care of those mobs for us. Okay, so that's why she's well built. But remember, feel free to put an Archer Lord in there to sort of boost her up if you've got one, or put better gear on her. You know, tier 2, tier 3 gear will work better. And then it's a matter of putting all the other stuff down. So we put a Gree down here. We've got a bit of AoE damage. There's no reason that he can't go on either of these tiles or these ones here facing this way. That's not an issue for him. There's our Gluttony down there. And again, you've got 2 more spaces, so if any of these are a bit weak, feel free to put, there's 2 spaces here, so put Gluttony up one and a fighter that reaches over the top, or sticks a more AoE DPS down here for yourself. I mean, there's a lot you can do to improve this. And then we've got Estrid not there. There. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Just making sure she's in range. And that's it. We can speed the fight up and back to tea. There we go. Cup of tea's finished, and I should be as well in a minute. There we go. So we've got one coming out of here that we've sort of got to watch out for. The only other thing we are watching out for is towards the end of the fight. We'll have someone else coming up at the bottom right hand corner. But Idril's ultimate will be on point there. Now, if you are struggling to get any of these down, not a big issue. You still get Idril's ultimate. If you think that they're coming around too much, take another fighter up here to put in next to Idril, or next to Estrid, that sort of thing. There's so many options you can do. This is sort of bare bones basic stuff for you to get away with. And there we go. We've got the last one. So I'm going to fire off Idril's now. She's helping out with that mob there. Kills that mob there. That's it done. 4-starred. Your first hidden chamber. Collect your rewards, give yourself a pat on the back, jump over to the forge, and hopefully it goes well for you. Okay, right, that's me done. That's it done there. Now we've got a separate video on the boss. We'll do the boss fight. We're going to clear all these off. Boss fight, nice and easy. Separate video of that. Link in the description below. Leave me the old thumbs up, like and subscribe would help me out massively. And I will see you all in the video again tomorrow, where we will do the next couple of stages as well. Right, thank you. Cheers. Goodbye.